Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori. I'm from Bee in My Bonnet, and I hope you're all having a lovely weekend and that you're all doing well. Today, I'm doing a video on the Granny Circle Along, and this is going to be video number 4. And I'm going to skip a little bit ahead from making things with just circles. I'm still going to continue doing that, but I've had a lot of requests. I just got back into town from H&H America show, and I had a lot of requests there from my lovely visitors asking me to jump ahead a little bit and show you how I make my squircles, which is basically just a granny circle turned into a square. And they had some projects in mind that they wanted to do, and so I thought, okay, yeah, I'll just jump a little bit ahead and show you how to go ahead and make my squircles. I've always called them squircles, just turning a circle into a square. And so that you could maybe be prepared on a few projects that you wanted to do. And then while you're doing squircles for those projects, then I'll go ahead and continue making videos on just circle things before I skip back ahead to the square. So I hope that's not confusing. And let me just talk about my squircles. And so, here's my granny circles that I showed you how to make in video 1. These are round 3 granny circles, which is what I typically do. And these are my round 2s, and these are my starters. And so all you need to do is grab your round 3s, and I'm going to show you how to turn them into a square. And then I will talk about, a couple of projects that we have going at that point. So let me just grab one off of this stack right here. Here's some squares that I have made so far. I'm using tea rows. I'm making another scarf. I'll show you my first scarf in a bit, but I just kind of want to show you how to turn these circles into a square first, and then we can talk about some other things. So I'm using tea rows. Okay, this is my chunky thread. 100% cotton. All right, I'm using a crochet size hook E. All right, and of course I've got all my supplies that I need. I've got my yarn bowl here. And let's just get started. And it's very easy to turn these into a square. There's several projects that are really fun, to just keep the circle finish, but I really like how a circle looks inside of a square as well. And so what we need to do is to make some tall corners here with a taller stitch in the corners of this circle so that we can turn it into a square. And what those are going to be are triple crochets. And then these are double crochets. Okay, so I will talk you through it step by step, just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what we're doing. And so what you're doing is just going to be joining it onto your hook with a slip stitch, your yarn, and you're going to start in any hole right here, whatever you pick, it does not matter. And you just go in, grab your yarn, and I like to, instead of a slip stitch, just like I showed you before in my other videos, I like to start with a single crochet now at the top, and then do my stunt double by doing 3 chains. And that's what I'm doing for a triple crochet. Okay, stunt double is basically just my beginning triple crochet so that I can make a tall stitch to get started with my base. And now I'm going to be doing a triple crochet, and to do that you wrap around your hook twice. Okay, then you go into the hole, you grab your yarn, come back, wrap around, and you're going to go through the first 2, wrap around again, go through the next 2, wrap around again, and go through the last 2, and that is a triple crochet. Okay, and you do that step 3 times, which equivalates, that's not even a word, which is the equivalent of a triple crochet. Okay, so we're going to wrap around twice, go in, come back, wrap around, go through the first 2. So we've done that step once, wrap around, go through the next two. We've done that step twice, and then we wrap around again and go through the last two. So that's 3 times. Okay, so now I've got a set of 3 triple crochets, basically my stunt double and 2 triple crochets. And what you want is a set of 3, and then you're going to chain 3 in between to form that corner right here. Okay, and then you're going to, you know, just push this down a little bit if you need to, make a little bit more room. And you're going to do 3 triple crochets in the same spot, okay? So I'm gonna go down in. Okay, there's the first one. Wrap around twice. Coming up, going through 2. Wrap around, go through the next 2. Wrap around and go through the last 2. I have 1 more to make in that hole. Okay. Go through the first 2, wrap around, go through the next 2, wrap around and go through the last 2. Okay, now I have formed my corner right here. Okay, I'm not going to chain to go into the next space. Okay, I'm just going to do a set of 3 double crochets, just like we've done double crochets throughout this whole granny circle. Now we're going back into doing double crochets in the next 2 spaces. Okay, I'm going to do a set of 3 and a set of 3 double crochets. Now I'm trying to go a little bit slower. If I'm going too fast for you, you can watch this video in slow motion. You can slow down the speed and watch it. And okay, I'm just gonna go into the next one without chaining. And if you feel that I'm too far away from, I don't know if you're watching on your phone or a big screen, iPad, I don't know, but you can always pinch up, you know, the photo until you can see it closely, okay? So that is my 2 sets of double crochet there, my 2 sets of 3, and now I need to make another corner in this space right here, just exactly like I did this. No chaining, you know, in between. The only time I'm doing chains in between my crochet stitches is right here in the corners, and I'm doing 3 chains. So I'm going to wrap around twice, come back in, do that first triple crochet, wrap around twice, setting up for the second triple crochet, make sure my little tail's out of the way there. Okay. Okay, I've completed the first set of 3, and I'm going to chain 3 to form that corner, wrap around twice to begin my next triple crochet. Okay. Doing my last one right here. Okay, so there I've got one side completed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue crocheting around. I'll turn on some music, but I will not speed this up so that you can just watch me doing it in real time. But I'm just going around and doing in the next 2 spaces the double crochet sets. And then here's my corner again that I'm going to be doing the triple crochets. And then here's the 2 spaces for the double crochet sets. And I'm going to be forming the corner in here. And then I've got these 2 left to do the double crochets. And then, you know, I will join those and show you how I do that. Okay, now I've just finished this set right here of the double crochets, and I'm ready to join. I do not chain once again in between. I'm just going to go in and go into the top of my stunt double. Okay, remember I did a single crochet to start when I joined, and then I did 3 chains, and I'm going to go into that chain. So I usually turn my hook and go into the first one, and then turn my hook back this way so that I can get through both of them like that. Okay, and then I just grab my yarn. I'm just joining with the slip stitch and come all the way through those loops. Okay, now I've joined, I pull up my loop. I like to leave a pretty long tail, you know, at least 6 inches, so that I have enough room, you know, to work with when I'm weaving in my ends. Then I just pull that up tight. Okay, and so that's what a square looks like. So now I've turned my granny circle into a square. And so let me just weave those ends in real quick and show you how I do that. It's just like I do with the last round of a granny square. Let me grab a needle, let's see. Let me grab this blue one, you'll be able to see that against that tea rose color. And so what I'm going to do is just walk this one down, just like I showed you for the last round of the granny circle as well. I usually just go through a couple of stitches there, or the back, you know, little loops or something. If you want to call them stitches, loops, whatever. And I just kind of walk it down so that I don't have a long, you know, piece from here to here, because I'm going to be hiding it behind here. And after I walk that down a little bit, then I just take my needle and I go behind. See, you can't see that from the front. I go behind those stitches, pull these up and trim them, you know, so that they're kind of even. They don't have to be exactly even, but it just makes it easier so that it doesn't come unthreaded. And then I just pull to where it's nice and snug, but not too tight. Okay, so I've gone under all of these stitches, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go back under them, but I'm going to go over one of those little loops so that I'm not just undoing what I just did. Okay, so I'm going back, and I like to do 3. Like I say, 3rd time's the charm for me, and it's very secure. And now I'm going to go back again, and I'm going to go over one loop so that it doesn't undo what I just did. And notice when I'm coming back, I'm holding this nice and flat so that it just remains flat. I don't want to gather it up. I want it to remain how it looked before. Okay, and then I just grab my scissors, and whenever I'm cutting off tails or using scissors with my yarn, here's a little tip that I always tell my students is I always cut sideways. I never go into my work like this. I cut sideways just so that I know that those the tips of those scissors are not going to cut any yarn. Okay, so now that's what we have going on there. Let me set this aside, and that's how you turn a granny circle into a square, or in other words, a squircle. Okay, so I've got 6 of these bordered with the tea rose right now. And what I'm doing with this is I'm going to be making a scarf. Here's a scarf that I've made right here. Here's the little ends. I'm just going to kind of run it through underneath so you can see. And what I've done is I've used like 5 or 6 of the same colors for this scarf for the circles, and then I've bordered it in my raisin color to make squares. And so when I did my circles, I made sure that I did not use raisin within the circles because I knew that I wanted to border it. Okay, and so I'll be showing you how to finish this and make these into a scarf, but I just wanted to let you know that what it looks like and what I'm making. I'll be showing you how to join them and how to do this cute little scallop border. I did 18, okay, for this scarf, which is, you know, it's not super long, but it's not short. I tend to do my scarves longer because I like to be able to either just let them hang down straight, or I like to double loop them, or, you know, whatever you want to do. And so also in last time in my crochet series and my granny square along, I showed you how to make a scarf with granny squares, and I just did 3 round granny square and then did this cute little scallop. And I just wanted to show you, I pulled this in because I thought you might want to see, you know, kind of the difference of what the squares look like and the circles. I think it's really fun to have a circle right here and then the square on the outside. So since I have this scarf with my denim color bordered and this with my raisin, I decided I wanted something in the pinks or something for spring, and so that's why I chose tea rose. Okay, and I'm just gonna quickly show you the 18 that I have ready to go. And what I did was I pulled out of my bowl here, I pulled circles to make into squares that did not have any pinks or tea rose in it. And I ended up with these colors right here. So I have 18. You know, I could add 19, I could add another one to do 19, I could have 20, I could have less, whatever I wanted to do, but I'm going to finish this scarf exactly like I've done this one right here. And let's see, let me tell you the colors that are in all of these circles. I pulled those out all on this plate so I could tell you, because I'm always getting asked what colors I've used, so I'm just going to let you know. Okay, so this is leaf right here, and then I've used all 4 of my greens. This is basil, this is Riley green, this is spring green, this is thyme, and then I've used all 3 of my yellows that I have so far, and this is butterscotch, this is honey, and this is beehive. And then, let's see, I've got neutrals, I've got pebble, I've got wheat, and I've got chamomile. And this is peacock, this is Riley aqua, this is jade, this is alpine, this is breezy, and then this is lagoon, this is denim right here. And then I've used my 2 purples, which this is plum and this is taffy. Okay, so that's all of these scrappy granny circles that I have in here to do the scarf. And again, I'll be doing 18 of those for a scarf. All right, so the other thing I wanted to show you, one other thing, there's other things I'll be making with my squircles, but I did want to show you that when I did the granny square along, I showed you how to do this pillow with granny squares, okay? And then that's what both sides of that looks like. But I did a pillow with squircles, okay? So I kind of wanted to bring that in and show you the difference of kind of how they look like, the circles, okay? And so for this pillow, I bordered my granny circles in thyme, okay, in the color thyme. And then for the little border, which of course I'll be showing you how to do this, I used lagoon. That's this color right here, okay. And I just used my scrappy colors. I did 16 for one side and 16 for the other side. And notice how on this side, when I joined my squircles together, I used thyme on this side, and on the other side, I decided to use lagoon, the same color that I used for this border right here. And so I just wanted to show you both ways, and I think it's really fun to have it in both ways in one pillow. Kind of makes it a 2-sided design a little bit, okay? And so 16 for each side. I used a pillow form that I bought that was just already green and the color of this time. And so let me see, let me grab my measuring tape. So of course I made 32 of these. And so and I just made it to fit the pillow. So from the squares to the squares, when I've joined 16, it measures 17 inches, okay? But the pillow itself measured 20 inches, pillow form. And so I did a border, a crocheted border, and I'll talk more about that just to make it to fit my pillow, okay? But I mainly just wanted to bring this in and show you, for those of you who are interested in making the pillow, that you need to make 32, or if you have a smaller pillow form, then make 9, and then you can just make as many borders as you need to around the edges to, you know, match your pillow size. And so that's what I've got going on for my scarf, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video about how to make my squircles, turning granny circles into granny squares. I'll chat with you later.